Okay, now let's get into the static active hip rotation exercise. So for this exercise, what we're doing is we're actively rotating the hip, and we're using the muscles of the hip, the rotators of the hip, to do this motion. So it's an active motion. We're developing strength in this rotation. We're developing all the stabilizers in the hip because we're going to be standing on one leg. And we're also working those neuromuscular reflexes to get that reciprocal inhibition going and to allow your body to relax those muscles that are often tight. These rotators often keep our hips locked up. So by doing this exercise and strengthening and lengthening them, we are going to loosen those up. So we're going to be able to rotate smoothly on that hip joint. And we do all different types of movements in this program to hit every aspect of the hip, every type of movement that you need. So this is a standing rotation. Anytime you got to rotate on the hips, on one leg, changing directions when you're playing a sport, throwing a kick, you got to throw the hips around and kick. This is going to be very powerful for that. Okay. So what you want to do, stand in good posture, standing on one foot, lift one leg up, keep the knee that's on the ground slightly bent, very slightly bent. From here, I want to actively, with the hip muscles, rotate myself around as far as I can, and I don't have to stretch my shoulders all the way around, my spine all the way around. I'm just working that hip rotation. So I'm rotating around as far as I can and hold it for 2 seconds on the end. And from there, I'm going to go in the other direction and open up. So I'm going to hold for 2 seconds on this end. And all I want to do is keep rotating back and forth. And if you need to put your foot down for a little bit of balance, that's fine, just to help you get that rotation. But it is good to work the single leg balance because that fires up other hip stabilizer muscles and gets those guys going. Because remember, in an unstable joint, the muscles are going to be tightened up by the brain to keep it stable. So if the stabilizers are working, the muscles, especially the prime movers, can actually relax. Okay, so I'm just rotating back and forth, about 5, 6 repetitions on either side, holding for 2 seconds on the end. Once you get to the end range of motion, it takes a little bit to get there. That's when you want to hold and start counting for 2. Okay, so that is the static active hip rotation exercise. It's going to work that stability on the single leg. So if you've got problems with single leg balance, this exercise is going to be very good for that. And it's also going to increase the range of motion of rotation of your hip.